All right, all right. What's good, chat? What's poppin'? I'm sorry, there's no music or anything up yet. I just hit live. I just pressed the live button and hit go. Hope everyone is doing all right. I know it's a little bit of an earlier stream, not after hours today. I don't know how long I'm gonna be live. Well, I kind of do. I kind of have an idea. What's good, Jax? What's good? What's good? You're back. What's poppin'? Welcome back. So, we're gonna be reading a Square Enix Yoshi P article that came out a little recently. This is from the video, I believe, that Dissidia. I believe it's from the interview they did from Dissidia, or maybe it's just related to that. I don't know. We're gonna read it, talk about I guess modern Square Enix stuff. A little bit of doom and glooming today. Just a little bit of doom and glooming, but it doesn't have to be doom and gloom. It could just be a regular, interesting discussion. Yo, what's good, Carlos? No. So sorry. It's about something else. I could talk about that today. Sorry for my chair squeaking. I could talk about that today. Which there's nothing to talk about. To be honest, there's really nothing to talk about that. I think what Yoshi P made a statement about, or made a comment about recently, is a lot more interesting. If you recently saw a video we made not too long ago, maybe 3 weeks to a month ago, we made a video about the silent effect of. Let me pull it up. Actually, let me pull everything up. So we did a YouTube video on the silent effect of the Kingdom Hearts 4 drought, wherever it is, right here. We did a video about the silent effect of the Kingdom Hearts 4 drought, and essentially, in this video, we talked about how Square Enix and the drought, has a larger effect on their IPs, and this is happening to a lot of like older game companies, but Square Enix being a bigger one it's happening to, where when you go like 6, 7, 8 years without a new game, a decade without a new game, it sucks. We always want to talk about how we want developers to prioritize quality. We don't want them to rush their games out. We just want a good product, and that is exactly what we want. No one's arguing that. But there is a argument, a topic, a thing to talk about when it comes to the bad side of that, like the yin and the yang. And the harder pill to swallow with that is you do lose a lot of your fans along the way. And your attempt to, I don't know, in your attempt, I guess, to prioritize quality, in your attempt maybe to restructure the company, or to, I don't know, just do whatever. Like, I don't know. I'm not good at making any like crazy statement about it. Just, you lose, the more time that passes without a new product, you're going to have people that forget about the product, that maybe don't prioritize the product as much as they used to, that maybe don't care about the product as much as they used to. That's happening to Kingdom Hearts. That's happening to Final Fantasy. That's happening to other IPs that are going through lengthy, long droughts that maybe don't even have the they don't have the IP or the strength to back that up. Because I mean, there's a big difference, guys, between a GTA 6 waiting a long time for that versus a Kingdom Hearts. Now, who knows if GTA 6 is going to outsell or outdo GTA 5? It definitely could. I definitely think if you're a betting person, GTA 6 might be the game that does that over time. Not at launch, not in a week, not in 2, not in a year. Over time, GTA 5 is what, at like 100 million something copies sold, one of the most profitable games ever made. GTA 6 is probably going to be up there in the records. It's probably going to launch, have a crazy launch on console, big launch on PC as well. And people have been waiting years and years for that game. But the difference is, GTA 5 was a really, really good game. Like, it was a crazy good game. Whether you're into GTA or not, right? You know, a game like GTA 6 makes sense to take that long, because you know that the scale that game is going to be at, because they've done it before. They've done innovations like this before. They've upped the ante. They've improved graphics in ways you've never seen in other games. Because Rockstar has leveled up before with their graphics, with their quality, yada yada. I'm sorry to glaze Rockstar so much. I know a lot of people probably don't care. It's crazy, you know. The game is going to be crazy, so people are thinking it might be worth the wait more. Now, with all the delays and stuff, people are getting a little antsy about it, right? But when that game comes out, when the marketing comes out, a lot of people are going to come back and be into that game. Now, can the same happen with Kingdom Hearts? I don't know. Not to the same degree, because Kingdom Hearts has a very different type of core audience that isn't just casual, that isn't just hardcore fans. It's a mix of both, but on the hardcore fan side of things, for their core audience, I don't know, because KH3 was a game that didn't satisfy everybody. It wasn't. It was not a game that satisfied everyone. It was not a game that everyone, like, after how many years, 13 years of waiting, 14 years of waiting, I don't know, 13 years of waiting since KH2, 7 years waiting for the game from announcement to release, or however long it was, right? 5.5, 6. For how long people waited for KH3, it didn't hit for everyone. And now you're having another long gap, and Jared actually made a very interesting post about this that I kind of agree with. Let me pull it up right quick as well. Hold on, typed it in wrong. There we go. But Jared, the gamers, joined biggest Kingdom Hearts YouTuber just period, biggest Kingdom Hearts creator period, made a tweet like this morning that I saw and was like, I really hope that after the release of Kingdom Hearts 4, the team can get consistency down, and hope that's only because of the mass reboot phase that Square Enix are going through that explains this massive gap. By the time 4 releases, it'll likely be close on a decade since KH3 released, and really any new KH content for that matter. That's kind of insane given it's Square Enix's third most successful IP with a dedicated team. Easily the biggest, most quietest gap of the franchise's history. I sorely missed the release cycle for the first 10 years of Kingdom Hearts, and Jared is talking about his personal feelings here. But this part, like right here, a part that especially hits, by the time KH4 releases, there's a decent possibility it will have been 10 years since we got the last number tally. I know a lot of people are very hopeful, and they're hopeful that Square Enix can maybe drop a title or drop KH4 or a new Kingdom Hearts game period by 2027, 2028, I think is pretty likely too. But if we reach 2027, 2028, like that still will have been a long time, like nearly a decade. It will have been 8 years in 2027. If it's 2028, 9 years since KH3, since the last major numbered Kingdom Hearts game came out. That's not 9 years of anyone's life is crazy. I don't know. Time flies by, but at the same time, like, as it's flying by, you pick up new things. You pick up new stuff along the way. Some things you used to be super into as a kid, you might not be as into anymore. And that's okay. That's fine. Like, we're all getting older, and in this social media dopamine age of the internet, content creation, yada yada that we're in, right? You're going to be into and fall out of new things. But I do think a lot of people are still going to be into Kingdom Hearts, because I was saying in my Silent Effect video how even though a lot of people may fall out of Kingdom Hearts, I also think a lot more people than you think are going to stick with the series. I mean, look at Final Fantasy fans. If you're an OG, like, traditional Final Fantasy fan, like, you were around during the PS1 era, like, you were a kid that vividly remembers the PS1 release era, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, you're probably, like, between your 30s, 40s right now, And a lot of those people are still gaming. Maybe in the previous generation of people, like, maybe our parents, our grandparents, by the time they were 30, 40, they were thinking about different stuff, but they lived a different life than we did. They didn't grow up during the boom of gaming and the internet. This is our life. This is what our like culture is. So for us, we're always going to be the generation that was into gaming. So that I said how we're probably going to be deep into our 50s, 60s playing video games. Like, let's be real. Maybe not as much because we have other things to do, but we're going to always be the gaming generation. So, with me saying that, though, time is still a factor. In what way, you might ask? You get into different stuff. You get into different games. You get into different... You have new obsessions. And people underestimate this. And it's very easy to underestimate in the moment, in the present. But when you look into the past, and when you're able to predict, you're able to easily predict this for the future sometimes. But when you look into the past and you look at like a lot of popular IPs that are still around today, in what way, shape, or form, that's debatable depending on the IP. But one thing that is very true when it comes to marketing, when it comes to media, exposure. General exposure of an IP has a long-term strength of just people knowing it, you know? Like, there's a reason everyone knows what Fortnite is, even if you're freaking old as heck and don't even play these games. Like, everyone knows what Fortnite is, even beyond Gen Z millennials. You know about Fortnite in some way, shape, or form, because you have grandkids playing it. You have, I don't know. You have a mother. You have someone in your life. Someone in your life is playing the game, knows about the game. Yeah. You know about phone. You know about certain phone games. You know about certain stuff. Like exposure is just so strong. A lot of people know about Minecraft, like whether you're young, whether you're old, because they've been around for so long and they've been being updated for so long. They have been getting new content for so long. As that pertains to maybe single player games, there's a big reason. That's a big reason a lot of people still know, and still like more people are finding out about a game like Street Fighter, finding out about Tekken, finding out about these new IPs, because just the sheer exposure they've had over decades and decades, and they've maintained updates. They've had their low moments, sure, but they've maintained like updates, consistency, and so on. And this is just the struggle of some single player games. A lot of those things I mentioned were multiplayer games, or games that you typically want to interact with another person. For single player stories, eventually they're going to end, and eventually that exposure is going to stop. But for single player stories that are still ongoing, or single player universes that are still ongoing, something like a Final Fantasy will still be being made way past Kingdom Hearts is done, because each new entry, each new story is a innovation of whatever the modern times want. But it's like, if you're not able to consistently innovate, and you're not able to consistently, I guess, pump out stuff that people are interested in, it just becomes a lot harder for people 10 years down the line to still be invested. Let me read a little bit of chat, though. I've been yapping. Yo, what's good to nobody? What's good, Carlos? What's good, Silsora? What's good, Rain? What's good, Jack Reese, Tallman, Vanitas, Muster, Ali, ZTOD, the Good Witch. What's poppin'? I don't really care what you call me personally, Jack, but I will say, like, if you don't know me, preferably just call me my YouTube name, but I don't really care nonetheless. Like, John's a common name. You can say John if you really want to, but yo, have I missed anything? Not really. We haven't even gone to the thick of it yet. We haven't even read the article yet. Cage 4 coming out 2028. It's barely even an article, honestly. This is some comments OCP made, but still. I don't care about the drought. I don't want another trailer until the game is a year away from release. I mean, I agree, but when is a year away from release? Is a year away from release in 2028 because it's releasing in 2029? Is it 2029 because the game's releasing in 2030, as many people memed earlier on in the decade, but now it's looking like an actual real possibility? It's like, sheesh. Character was still a success. What do you mean? It sold 7 million copies and was critically acclaimed. Critically acclaimed at first, right? But I feel like you ask any fan in the RPG fandom, and KH3, like, okay, what they push out Sure, right? Like that's what they pushed out when KH3 first came out. KH3 is my favorite Kingdom Hearts game. Y'all know this. If you've been following me for a while, you know this. You can feel a type of way about it. I don't care. I love KH3. That's how it is, right? But KH3 is divisive, bro. We're not gonna use it being the highest selling Kingdom Hearts game or it being reviewed good when it first came out in that first week of reviews. Because I mean, you know the actual people, like not every person who plays the game, not 7 million people didn't review KH3. So out of those 7 million people that played the game, there was a lot of those people that weren't as happy with it. Now, it varies though. A lot of people weren't happy with it, but they might still play KH4. They might still give KH4 a try. KH4 might look good enough to reel those people back in. There's also a lot of people who didn't like KH3 that may never touch a Kingdom Hearts game again. They may be out of Kingdom Hearts. KH3 might have been so disappointing for them, they may not care to touch Kingdom Hearts ever again. They might not care to watch Kingdom Hearts content. They might not care to interact with Kingdom Hearts products. They might not have even cared the story came to Smash Bros. The Kingdom Hearts as an IP might just be tainted, like, for them. It beyond repair for them because KH3 is a game they look forward to for so much of their adolescence, teenagehood, that they may not care about Kingdom Hearts anymore. And that's a real thing, but that's not for us to worry about, because if you're someone who liked the game, worry about what you liked. And if you liked Kingdom Hearts 3, you're probably excited for KH4 because of the story and all the mobile game stuff that is going to be added to the story. It's going to be very fun. So, like, you control what you can control, right? Like, don't obsess over what other people do or don't like. But for this stream, we are talking about the bigger semantics of it, because it is, as a company, for Kingdom Hearts' IP as a future, it is something to think about. Kingdom Hearts 3 was a divisive game. Like, we're not going to pretend it wasn't a divisive game. It was super divisive, bro. It was super divisive. I do think newer gen Kingdom Hearts fans like KH3 a lot more than people who played it at launch. Like, people who, like, that trickle effect, or that like trickle of new fans that have been coming in over time, I think they enjoy Kingdom Hearts 3 a lot more than some of the people who are a little more mixed on it. And that's because they were able to play KH3 as a fuller, more complete product. Kingdom Hearts 3 nowadays, when you get into it, likely has Remind bundled in with it if you're getting it on PC. Even on console, like, Remind and KH3 go on sale constantly, so it's accessible. Remind's accessible, so most people playing KH3 nowadays are playing Remind with it. They're not waiting a year to play Remind. They're not sitting with Dark Inferno as the only secret boss for an entire year. They get to play KH3 as a more complete product. Same thing goes for the final mixes. Kingdom Hearts 2, believe it or not, a lot of KH2 elitists will try and tell you, like, this wasn't the truth. And I am a KH2 elitist, by the way. I love KH2, but maybe I'm not so much of an elitist for KH2 that I'll lie about. KH2, believe it or not, was slightly divisive back in the day. Not as divisive as 3, I will not say that. Nowhere near to the same tier as 3. But KH2 was a slightly divisive game in the earlier ages of the internet. And that's because after Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, which only released like 2 years after Kingdom Hearts 1, by the way, was a Kingdom Hearts game, 2 to 3 years after, by the way. A game that only released around, 3 years after Kingdom Hearts 1, by the way. KH2 had significantly less, like, level design in its worlds. Cavern of Remembrance wouldn't come out. Most people wouldn't experience Cavern of Remembrance till a decade later, when the ports of Final Mix would finally come to other countries. But going from KH1 to 2, you have significantly less world design. So, like, worlds are nowhere near as fleshed out. There are hallways, empty hallways at that. Nowhere near as much interactivity on top of that. You have a cool story, sure, but now you have second visits of Disney Worlds that already have less content, so the game has a little more padding on top of, like, you know, having the world design the way it is. And I love KH2, but going from KH1 to KH2, these were things, especially so soon after. But the reason there's such a big difference between, like, 2 and 3, a lot of people who get into 2 nowadays, which is slowly becoming the majority or on par with the amount of people who got into it originally. A lot of people who play KH2 in the modern day play Final Mix. They play Final Mix first. Final Mix is the thing they go to when they play KH2. Like, not many people remember the vanilla KH2 experience. Like, not many people remember that. Matter of fact, it's gone to the point where it's a fun fact now that KH2 didn't have dodge roll originally. It's a fun fact. That used to be just what the game was. That used to be the experience for KH2 on the PS2 for what? Like how long? Almost a decade. Like 9 to 10 years, almost a decade. For KH2 because we didn't have Final Mix. It's insane to think about that. We went so long with no data fights. Sephiroth was the only secret boss in KH2. Now, admittedly, Sephiroth's a way cooler secret boss than Dark Inferno is, but we only had one secret boss in that game as well. But KH2, the experience became predominantly Final Mix only, so the reputation of the game, because Final Mix for KH2 is so freaking good. It's so good. It's so good. And it did a lot for that game. KH2 was already a great game, by the way, but Final Mix did so much for KH2's overall reputation. The remixes did so much for KH2's overall reputation. It is now seen as just one of the best video games ever made. It's like almost indisputed by most people. It is seen as one of the best video games, action games of all time, and it is rare to find someone that's going to sit there and slander it and try to say otherwise. That's what happens. I wonder if over time that will happen with KH3. But I don't know. Because significantly more people played KH3 at launch than KH2 or maybe even 1. You know? KH2 and 1 got 5 million over time. KH1 got 6 million over time. KH3's launch was so huge. That game sold 5 million copies in its first week. KH3 sold more than KH2 did in its history almost in 1 week. That's how many people played KH3 at launch. So when you have that many people like in the audience, like in the theater room, you know, like trying to see what the new art, what the next innovation of Kingdom Hearts is, and for at least like a decent percentage of those people, in the tens of percents of those people, say that the game was kind of mediocre, kind of cheeks, kind of disappointing, it doesn't make a great impression. That impression sticks with people, and it sticks with them even more when you don't have something to replace it. People who didn't have KH2 as their favorite Kingdom Hearts game, who had KH1 or Birth by Sleep or Dream Drop Distance. This is before the remixes came out, before 2013, before 2014, before the PS4 ports would happen. This was before all that. When people had their favorite Kingdom Hearts games as a lot of different games, right? It wasn't unanimously 1 or unanimously 2. It was a mix of like everything a little bit, right? Back then, before Final Mixes were like, you know, brought over to other countries, people, I guess, like, I'll describe it. Back then, if KH2 wasn't that good, you only had to wait like a year for another KH game to come out, maybe 2. If you didn't like Days, hey, Recoded's coming out. If you didn't like, you know, Birth by Sleep, then Dream Drop Distance came out 2 years after that. And like, you didn't have to wait that long. So like, if you had a game that didn't hit, you didn't really have to wait. And Night Sky actually made a post about this that I completely agree with. Let me look. Just scrolling through the Twitter account. So like, where do you say? I think it was in his replies. Maybe it was this. Dang, Night Sky's replied to the same post a lot. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, here it is. So Night Sky replied to one of these posts about the Yoshi P statement that we were talking about. I was like, it's the absolute biggest problem facing the series right now. Let me read the context. So Yoshi P chat did an interview, Yoshi P said this statement recently And it's very true. By the way, Yoshi P is secured at Square Enix because bro is out here criticizing the company. It kind of has been for some years about their processes, and kind of not like super directly, but he's been openly kind of critical and like analytical about like kind of questioning some of the practices and decisions, right? He said, I'm 53 now, and I've been playing since Final Fantasy 1 in real time. But for younger generations, people who grew up naturally accustomed to action-based combat and online competitive play, that is what most gamers are like nowadays, the recent entries in the series may have been hard to engage with. Part of that is simply because, I'm sorry to say, the release intervals for new titles have gotten longer, so some players haven't really had the chance to connect with the series the way older fans did. That is completely true. Like, that is completely true. 100%. Like, it's not something the devs can, like, snap their fingers and fix. I want to make that clear. Even though I say this, even though, yeah, this is a real thing, and you could take this as doom and gloom, but it's just the passing of time, and we're experiencing it because we're getting older. We're slowly, like a lot of us who have been in these communities, we were maybe kids and stuff when these communities were at their peak, right? We're experiencing what a lot of like people throughout human history eventually experience. You are getting older, and younger people are into new things. That's all it is. That's really all it is. How does that pertain to this culture of like products and consumerism, capitalism, blah blah blah? It's a little hard for them to deal with, right? Especially when you're catering your products to a younger audience. If you're a new company and you're catering your products to primarily a younger audience, but eventually that audience gets older, and you're not reaching as many young people as you were before, you're going to deal with this. Square Enix was a company that cared a lot of their products to people of all ages to an extent, right? But definitely to a games that first catered to a younger audience because younger people were able to play games a little more. But now, a lot of those people who were younger in the 2000s, even early 2010s, and are now like a lot older in the 2020s, about to be 2030s now, we're in the second half of the 2020s, they're not reaching as many young people as they did back then. So that audience is now a lot older. They're having kids. They're getting into like new stuff. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Anyways, Night Sky replied to this post and was basically like, it's the absolute biggest problem facing the series right now. Back then, it was easier to tank a Final Fantasy game you didn't like when another one was coming next year. But now, if you don't like the latest Final Fantasy, you disconnect for 5 to 7 years. And even though Night Sky mostly talks about Final Fantasy stuff, this is exactly what it's like for Kingdom Hearts right now, too. This is exactly what it's like. Kingdom Hearts right now, Kingdom Hearts used to be a series where you waited a year to 2 years for the next game. If you didn't like Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance was coming out in 2012. If you didn't like one of the DS games, hey, another one's coming out in 2007 or 8. That's how it was, you know? But nowadays, it's like, oh, you didn't like Kingdom Hearts 3? Well, I don't know if Melody of Memory or Dark Road is going to appeal to you as much, so I guess you're going to have to wait till KH4. Oh, it's 2026 now? KH released in, 2019? Bro, I think that fan who is sitting on KH3's disappointment for 7 years might not be as eager to play KH4. I have a lot of friends, and I know I've talked to a lot of different people in this community over my content creation journey. There are so many people who I know that I've gotten into arguments about KH3, who hate KH3. They don't like KH3. They cannot be convinced. They do not like KH3. That is not their game. They hate it. KH2 is the best. Or maybe even 1 was the best. Maybe they love every game before it. Maybe they just don't like 3. 3 was disappointing. Those are the people that honestly don't care as much about the drought right now. Because they're out of it. They're out of it. They just are. They don't care to even talk about, like, the drought at the moment. And that might be a better life for them, right? That's bliss. Hating KH3 in that context is probably bliss. But they're out of it in a way. Some of them, not all of them. some of them are out of it in a way where it's just a lack of overall interest. There's no care. The biggest moment in the story did not hit and was not good, was borderline bad to me. So I don't care about the next product. The next product has to convince me it's worth its time. Otherwise, I'm probably just not going to buy it or care, And that's a sucky position to be in as a company. Now Kingdom Hearts though. Kingdom Hearts. Will that actually happen? I don't know. I think Kingdom Hearts has a lot of factors to its benefit that even Final Fantasy doesn't have. Final Fantasy is a product that I think they have a very loyal audience, but most Final Fantasy fans haven't played every Final Fantasy. You know what I mean? So I think Kingdom Hearts has a X factor of it's always bringing new people in. I think Kingdom Hearts actually, I would argue, it doesn't have as many games as Final Fantasy, as Dragon Quest. So to the degree that's at, maybe not. But like in terms of ratio, like game by game, Kingdom Hearts has a pretty good sales ratio compared to other Square Enix titles. Kingdom Hearts, we know Kingdom Hearts to be a series that has a lot of titles, but specifically, there's a specification there. Kingdom Hearts has a lot of titles that are connected to each other. But there are a lot of IPs that just have like dozens of one-offs or titles that don't connect at all. Despite that, though, despite Kingdom Hearts having an interconnected story between game after game after game, it does a pretty good job of bringing new people in, I would argue. And it's mostly because what we often criticize in the 2000s and the 2010s, it brought in a lot of new people being exclusive to a Game Boy Advance, a DS, a PSP, a PS2. It brought a lot of new people in. Nowadays, it's bringing new people in just because of sheer accessibility. The game's going on sale constantly. Sora and Smash probably brought a couple new people in. The mobile games, believe it or not, did bring new people in. But since 2022, or 2020, whatever you want to say the cutoff date was, I don't think it's done as much of that because there hasn't been a lot of content. Those people who did get into Kingdom Hearts post KH3, or are getting into it now, or maybe you got into KH3, you caught up to Kingdom Hearts during Remind, is undoubtedly a smaller number of people who are just kind of clearing their backlog compared to people getting into it because a new game is hype. JoJo Part 7 just came out recently, and I have seen more discussion about Stone Ocean for JoJo than I ever did during like Stone Ocean's actual release, because Part 7 has been like that hyped up and that good for the first episode, and people are going back and rewatching parts they haven't seen, or people are catching up so they can experience, Steel Ball Run. And it's a beautiful thing to see because Part 6 like had no motion whatsoever. And I love Part 6 of JoJo, but it had no motion whatsoever in terms of like Twitter or just general JoJo hype. But Part 7, I've been seeing so much Part 6 discussion that I never saw before, and that's making me so happy. Maybe Kingdom Hearts 4 is so good of a game and it's so highly praised, so critically praised, that people go back and catch up to the rest of Kingdom Hearts. Or people, decide to give KH3 another try and maybe think the game's better than it once was. Or maybe it sparks another boom for Kingdom Hearts, like a significant one, right? It's another numbered title. Kingdom Hearts numbered titles have not failed, really. Kingdom Hearts 1, one of the highest selling games on PS2. Kingdom Hearts 2, also one of the highest selling games on PS2. Kingdom Hearts 3, one of the highest selling RPGs ever on PS4. And on top of that, sold 5 million copies in its first freaking week, dude. That is impressive. A lot of games, even today, with how much bigger the gaming audience is, still don't reach that. Still don't do that. Even games that eventually, do sell more copies than KH3 does. KH3, 5 million first week is insane. KH4, I don't know if KH4 is going to sell as much as 3 did. I think it's probably going to sell as good as 2 did at launch, and maybe like trickle its way up there. but we'll see. KH4 has the chance to have a lot of different worlds. KH4 has the chance to introduce a whole new era of Kingdom Hearts fans to something else. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting for sure. I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised I yapped out that long. I can't speak. I'm yapped out, but I'm surprised I yapped that long. Oh brother. Let me move chat over. So, how are you guys doing? I am not even. I barely even read chat so far. I've been looking at it. I've barely like been. I haven't been like immersed into chat. You know what I mean? I've been glancing at it, glancing over at it. I saw that Yaya came into the stream. Yaya did cook me into Cydia yesterday, but hey, look, you know he plays that game, so I'm not as good, but I think I can cook Yaya. I just need like to lab the game a little bit, you know. What the heck? Why did my wallpaper? Did that crash? Y'all saw that, right? I crashed my wallpaper engine. There we go. Bro, I still have my vanilla copy of KH1. God, I love changing the camera with L and R and having to scroll down to select options. Also, expert difficulty. Yeah, expert mode. Y'all know about expert mode, do y'all? Crazy times. Party's never played the city in his life. What do you mean? I have played the city, Andy. I just didn't grind it like Yaya did. Yaya's better than me at it. I see a lot of posts where people didn't like KH3 and would say they hadn't touched it since launch and never even played Remind. Yeah, you're right, Hero Vast. There's so many people that never played Remind for KH3. If you look at the trophy list, which is like probably our better indicator of how many people played Remind, those trophies have such a small number compared to the base game. I think a lot of people played KH3 to not play Remind. I mean, given it is not often people replay a game. Like, that is not a common thing. You're going to cut in half the amount of people, maybe even like way lower than that. Like, if you're banking on people replaying your game or banking on people even playing like some big DLC pack or something, it is rarely going to happen. It's just not going to, like, on a casual, wider, general level, it's just rare. So, yeah. We will never get that treatment again. Development takes longer now. Yeah, it's never happening again. It's never happening again. I miss Kingdom Hearts. I do too, Zachary. I do as well. The KH4 OST will likely hit hard. We all get in the zone when discussing things. Yes, we do. KH4 trailer might be emotional. Man, Marvin, let me tell you, when Kingdom Hearts comes back, when KH4 comes back, I might shed a tear. I feel like it's going to hit me like a truck because I've been used to talking like doom and gloom about Kingdom Hearts. Like, it's become routine now. Like Sora going to a Disney World, bro. It's become routine for me to get on this microphone, doom and gloom about Kingdom Hearts, talk about how we haven't seen a trailer, play rando, blah, blah, blah. You know, like we've been in a stagnant state in the community for Kingdom Hearts. But when that trailer comes back, when that trailer drops, when we have hope to look forward to, like, it'll be like hope coming back. Legit, that's just how it's gonna feel. Hope will be back, bro. Hope for the future of Kingdom Hearts will be back. This series, a lot of people outside looking in don't understand how emotional and how like much of an attachment people have to the series. People who are really dedicated. It is like there's nothing like Kingdom Hearts. There is absolutely nothing like Kingdom Hearts. When that OST hits and I see Sora back, bro, moving in a trailer, you know, hitting Heartless or whatever enemies there are in the Quadron with this Keyblade, I'm gonna be there. I can't. That moment's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great moment. It's something to look forward to, man. It's definitely something to look forward to, which is why I'm holding on. And I think it will happen. One day, it will happen. One day. I didn't play Remon my first playthrough because I was way too underleveled. I'm on the last 2 limit cut fights now. Yo, let's go! I can already hear Prodigy and his Discord friends screaming on a live stream when Cage 4 gets revealed in an event. Bro, we are going to have an iconic Cage 4 reaction. That is definitely going to be something, man. We are going to have an iconic Kingdom Hearts 4 reaction. Waiting for video games is pretty much the norm at this point, which is so goddamn annoying when all we get is radio silence for Cage 4, Splatoon, and next mainline Sonic, etc. Yeah, I mean, okay. There's a couple of perspectives to take the drought for some of these bigger IPs that used to release like frequently in the 2000s, 2010s. I think from a certain perspective, they're taking their time because they want to release a bigger product. Think about a lot of the new AAA games that are coming out. There are new games coming out, new studios, new people that are dropping games and are just completely freaking lapsing like IPs that have legacies like of 30, 40 years of being out. You know, there are new games like Expedition 33, man, Crimson Desert. You got these friend slop games. Like I know friend slop's a new genre that's been popping up, but you got these indie games on Steam that have been blowing the heck up, man. Like 10 million copies in like a couple of months because they are so cheap, accessible, and hey, they make fun live stream moments and they spread like wildfire because everyone's on social media. Social media only perpetually grows more and more over time, every day, every month, every year. So like people being able to make games you can just essentially clip farm for funny moments, for shorts and videos and blah blah. These games blow up so fast, and they are lapsing so many of these 20, 30-year-old IPs. It's like companies like Square Enix, Sega, Capcom's been doing it. They've been doing it greatly. Like, they have to step up. They have to make games that I guess is hit for this newer audience, and it requires a lot more I guess, work in the background, a lot more studying of the current trends, and they have to do something different than what they used to do. Because if they keep doing the same thing that they've done for years, yeah, maybe some new people will get into it. You might get lucky and, like, you know, I might recommend Kingdom Hearts to one of my little siblings or cousins or something, and they'll get into Kingdom Hearts just because, you know, it's a new game, new opportunity to get into it. But a game that not just someone, you know, put someone else onto, that's a variable that's hard to account for. You want a game that a 5-year-old kid, 6-year-old kid, or maybe a teenager today will look at instantly and be like, I'm playing that. Mom, can I get that? Dad, can I get that? That's my next birthday gift. That's my next Christmas present. Like something that immediately they can hop on, play with their friends, or something that they can just play. You know, that's fun. Old devs have to learn new tricks. Old dogs have to learn new tricks. That's essentially what it is. That's what's going on with these older game companies right now. It's one of the many reasons years ago Final Fantasy switched over to action. Versus 13, Final Fantasy 15 switched over to action combat, not because they thought turn-based was bad or it was a terrible thing. You know, Expedition 33 blew up recently, right? But it's because they saw the trend of action games being really strong and being just really popular. And I think Square Enix, I don't think they've done action for Final Fantasy. Well, hold on, let me restate that. So you look at a game like 15, which didn't do action as great, but was still a decently successful game in terms of sales, but I don't know if they profited off of 15. But then you get to a game like 7 Remake, which polishes that action-based combat. Polishes it a lot. And that's Final Fantasy's attempt of modernizing something that previously, like, yeah, a lot of old fans liked, and yeah, old fans are going to complain. You know, those older Final Fantasy fans aren't going to like Final Fantasy going action, but they take that risk for the potential reward of a Final Fantasy game that that connects with a new generation, a new audience. Now, that's an interesting discussion to have, right? At a certain point in life, you are not the demographic anymore. I think that's a genuine discussion to have. We've grown up in a generation or in a age of like online. I know there's a lot of different like age demographics in chat because RPG fandom is a pretty decent mix of young and old. But on the younger side, the RPG fans who grew up and started gaming a lot in the 2000s, PS2 onwards, right? For a long time, right? I'd say until like a little bit recently, maybe even still now. I think we are a little bit now, but we were the demographic for the longest time, and we kind of still are. I have a question: are we still the demographic? Are we still the desirable demographic for gaming? I think we still kind of are because we are the core generation of gaming. But do you think we are still the core demographic? Like, for example, when I say we, I'm assuming age ranges. Like, I'm about to be 25. I'm still pretty young. I buy games, but like nowadays, when I was a kid, like I'd ask my parents for games, I asked my cousins for games, and I had all the time in the world to game. But even someone like me, I love playing games, and I still play games a lot, like almost every day, right? Almost. There's a lot of single player games I don't buy nowadays because I have bills to pay, and I have to question, like, okay, am I going to actually sink in the amount of time I want to into this $70 game and then finish it on top of that? Like, is it worthwhile? You know, is it worth that money when I could save that money for a phone bill, electric bill, rent, right? And, you know, different financial, like, circumstances, right? I'm doing okay, but, like, you know, your boy could always use a little more. Hey, memberships, donos, pinned comment. I don't know if you want. It's a good moment to advertise. But like your boy's fine. I ain't going homeless or nothing. But I'm in my 20s where I'm trying to figure stuff out. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. So a $7 game is a little bit of a like. Okay, It's a thinker. It's not an immediate buy. I can spend 70, forget about it. I'm not at that point in my life yet. I'm trying to get there though. Teens and adults in their early 20s are probably the main gaming demographic. Yeah. I wonder though, do you think that demographic is going to change? Like, do you think when we were in our 30s, 40s, we're still going to be the main demographic or like a demographic? I think even though we're the gaming generation, even though we are the generation that started, like, that was super into games, is Gen Alpha more into games than we were? That's an interesting question. I know we want to be like, we want a white knight, and we want to be like, nah, man, we play more games than they do. But does Gen Alpha? I'm not talking about different games. I'm talking about just time spent on games. It doesn't matter if it's Kingdom Hearts. It doesn't matter if it's Fortnite, Valorant. It doesn't matter. Do you guys think we still spend more time playing games than Gen Alpha kids do? Like on their Fortnite, on their Roblox, on their whatever. Like, do you think, because I think to a degree, even though we're getting older, and we are definitely going to still be a strong demographic buying games, I think eventually we will be lapsed by just sheer time. I think, because, you know, there's uncontrollable factors. Like, if you're paying rent, bro, and you work a full-time job, you are literally not going to be able to play games as much as someone who's, like, a kid. Like, you're not going to be able to. If you're in a relationship, you have a partner, you have a wife, you know, luckily I have a partner that I game with. Like, me and Putty Apple, me and Z, we play Valorant a lot together. We play a whole lot of Valorant. Now, I do think they are less diversified with games, though. Gen Alpha is way less diversified. I don't. Maybe I can be proven wrong on that as they get older, because Gen Alpha, the oldest people of Gen Alpha are, or we look at as Gen Alpha, the oldest people are, I think they're like teenagers right now, because Gen Alpha is like 2010, 2011, right? I definitely think they're way less diverse than us. I think so, but maybe I'll be proven wrong because my brother isn't Gen Alpha, but he almost is. I have a little brother, and he is, but I kind of think it's because of me. Like, I'm gonna take my hat off and be like, yeah, I think it is a little because of me. I cultured my brother. My brother is very interested in PS2 games. My brother loves old school games. He loves Roblox. He loves Fortnite. He loves like a lot of the Gen Alpha games, right? But my brother is super into old school anime, old school PS2 games and stuff like that. And he honestly he's a lot more cultured than a lot of his friends are, who mostly play like a certain type of game. So he does a little bit of both. But that's because he has an older brother who introduces him to those things. You know what I mean? So we're probably going to do that to our little brothers, little sisters, etc. They play depressed games a lot. Yeah. A demographic, yes, but alpha and after will take over. Yeah, I agree. Because, like, we are a big part of the gaming generation in terms of our attachment to games, but Gen Alpha is also into games. Like, they're just as into games as we were. Because for us, right, gaming, we grew up with games as they were getting normalized. Like, games were games were a new thing. You guys remember all the freaking, anytime crime would happen in the world, like, in the 2010s, we'd hear on the news, oh, this happens because this guy plays all these video games, and the news, like, you see all these, like, I forget what the other generation, Gen X or something, but, like, these older generations, they're like, bro, these guys are doing this because of these video games and this and that, because they don't understand our attachment to video games, or didn't at the time. It wasn't normalized for them. Like, why are these kids so obsessed with games? I had this talk with my friends a couple of nights ago, and it was like, back in the day, like playing games and stuff, you were questioned on it a lot. Making money off of games was a completely foreign concept until, like, honestly, even as YouTube was getting popular, it was still a foreign concept that wasn't normalized. I'd say until around COVID, until slightly before COVID came out. I think COVID came out like it was a freaking game drop. It might as well have been, but until that happened. Gen X are my parents. Gen X were wild. Yeah, like gaming. We kind of like we're the generation that did normalize it. We are the people that did. Or Gen Z, I guess, Gen Z / like late millennials are the generation that normalized games. But after the normalization, like if you're a kid, imagine being born in the 2010s. I can't imagine that. But if you were born in the 2010s and you're a Gen Alpha kid, you came out the womb playing games. You came out the womb like gaming just exists. Gaming's always been popular from your perspective. You don't have a reference for a time period where gaming wasn't like a big thing. Similar to how I don't have any reference really for a time period where technology and electronics weren't a thing, because I grew up in the boom of technology. So it's like kids who are growing up now, gaming's always been there. Gaming's always been a thing. There's probably not even a big fight for like saving these old school companies or anything, because they probably don't have the attachment to Square Enix that some of us do, or the attachment to some of these older companies that we do. So it's an interesting discussion. I'm going on tangents and I'm rambling. I'm making no sense on anything I'm saying, but look, I'm yapping. I said yapping in the title. This is a yap. This is a yap. This is a vent yap. Your boy wanted to get some stuff off his chest a little bit today, off of this article. I don't know, I just like talking with you guys. I do. I like talking to you guys. I like reading chat. I like seeing chat move. Let me read a little bit. Pretty much most of Gen A probably don't even have consoles. I think they still do, because I think PC gaming is getting a lot more popular, and I think it's closer to consoles than people think. But at the same time, I also think consoles, because of the price, it's purely because of the price. That's the only reason. It's purely because they are cheaper. Consoles are I think there's still a decent gap between consoles and PCs. Most people I still think do have consoles. PC is too much of a hassle for me. Yeah, like they're not as accessible or as convenient as consoles. Like, just period. Like, I can't pick up my PC setup and take it to my friend's house, which might not sound like a big deal because you're thinking to yourself, you're thinking from the perspective of, like, some of you are probably in your 20s, 30s in the chat. You're thinking from the perspective of, bro, I'm not bringing my console I'm not bringing my console or game systems to my friend's house. But as a kid, bro, I did that all the time, and I think kids still do that. My brother, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I have siblings and I have cousins who are like still younger, and they travel. They don't go anywhere without their console, bro. Like, they don't go nowhere without their console. Kids still do that. So, like, that's a big thing. That is a very big thing. Imagine like when you're a kid, you want to be like, and you're trying to be sociable. Like, some kids are on different parts of the spectrum with that, obviously. Like, some kids are way more social. Some of you may have been not as social. I was a little in between. Like, you might have had a friend group you were social around, right? And, like, if you went over to someone's house or went to a party or did whatever, right? Had cousins over. It doesn't even have to be like friends. It could just be like family members and stuff. Like, you had cousins and whatnot over. Like, you want to bring your console out. You want to move your console around a little bit. That happens. I can't go on without my game PC. See, that's me. I prefer my PC. Like, honestly, if I'm not gaming on my PC, I borderline don't want to game. I know that sounds bad, but, like, if I'm not playing a game on the PC, I borderline don't want to play it. I borderline don't want to play the game. But that's because that's a privilege. I'm older. I can afford a PC, and I have that privilege. I'm older. I'm able to do that. A kid who don't, some choices are getting made for them. That console's their ride or die. That PlayStation that they take over their friend's house, that's their ride or die right there. That's Mr. Loyalty. They'll put a ring on her finger if they could. Like, they are attached to that console. I know I was. Like, shoot, I was bringing my consoles ever. I remember on the PS2, I remember going over to my cousin's house and stuff, and, like, playing Budokai Tenkaichi and stuff on my PS2 that I would travel around with. I remember my cousins. I used to get into fights with my cousins, bro, because they'd be trying to keep my consoles, and I'm like, bro, because they're like, their parents when like give them consoles. I was the kid that was like super into gaming in my family, and like they loved to play games, but their parents weren't buying them that stuff, and they would try to take my PS2s and stuff, bro, and I could not. I'm like, no, you're not keeping my PS2. I'm like, I must have fight you. Like, you're not keeping this. This is my PS2, dog. Probably stop turning into a kid these days, old man. Look, don't say that to me. That's a trigger. Don't say that to me. I'm not becoming that. I don't think I am. I do feel myself slowly getting there, but I don't. I'm not envious of kids. Like, I don't treat them any different. Like, I don't know. There's differences, but I'm getting to the age. Like I've been using these generational terms a lot more in the past year. I'm getting to the age where I am noticing I'm starting to notice the gaps in behaviors more. Like, years ago, even when I was like earlier in my 20s, I noticed, like, I don't know, I still felt like I felt like a lot of kids growing up were still kind of similar to me, like, or like they weren't as like different, you know. They're into similar stuff. They were into games. They were into anime. They were into all that. Like, they were into nerdy stuff, you know. Like, I saw that, and kids nowadays still are into nerdy stuff, and are into nerdy stuff maybe even more than we were, but there's a difference in behaviors. I'm noticing. You know what I mean? Like, tell me, I cannot be the only one that, like, feels that way. Like, you get to a certain age and you start to become more aware and you start to notice more like, oh wait, there actually are like there kind of are differences in some of these generations. Like I think I've reached the age demographic where I'm noticing the difference between like younger generations, and I'm like, oh man, okay. Before I used to be the younger generation, and now it's like, okay, now I'm like, I see these new kids rising up, bro, and I'm like, dang, that's the future right there. Man, that's them. Man, 30 this year, I feel old. Hey, don't feel. I'm gonna be real. 30 ain't even that old anymore. I don't think it's old. Period. Like, I don't think it's old. Period. It's all right. Wear it as a badge. You made it to 30. Let's go. I'm gonna be 30 soon. Not for a while, but I'll be 30 soon myself. 20. Let's see. I don't turn 30 until 2031. I was born in '01. I turned 30 in 2031. It's gonna be wild. You turn 30 and you unlock back pain. I've unlocked back pain a while ago, brother. Turn 30 in 2035. Sheesh. I remember a time before cell phones and the internet. I am old. Yeah, I don't remember that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do remember a time. I'm like pretty. I'm early. I'm like early Gen Z. I'm on the older part of Gen Z. I do remember a time. I'm like kind of middle. I do remember a time where there weren't smartphones, but cell phones maybe a little bit, like very briefly, because I feel like cell phones weren't like super big to like mid 2000s, which I was like entering elementary school. So like I have like faint visions of no cell phones. No smartphones. I remember when smartphones became popular. Smartphones early 2010s. That was like, I remember when smartphones was becoming a big piece of technology. I vividly remember that. Internet's always been around. I've always I don't remember a time without the internet. I don't. I'll be honest. I don't remember a time without the internet. Now, I guess you could say I do remember a time where the internet was like a quirky, cool thing. It wasn't like your whole life. Now is the internet is so interconnected into literally everything. Literally everything. Even things that you wouldn't like realize. Like some of you might not be like moved out or anything yet. If you move into like an apartment, a house, get insurance, blah blah blah, you can opt in for mail-in stuff. You can. You can for a lot of things. You can still get mail for certain things. But it is significantly easier and honestly more reliable to have it through your internet, through an account online, on their website, blah blah blah. Like you pay your rent, you pay your insurance, you pay your electric bill through the internet. Like it is insane. There a lot of these places nowadays sometimes aren't open on weekends or on certain days of the week. So the internet 24/7, pay it whenever. You know what I mean? There are so many things that rely on the internet. It's so interconnected. So I remember a time before that where a lot of things weren't on the internet. There was still a lot of things that you could only experience out like by going outside. A lot of things you could only do or handle. A lot of necessities, obligations you could only do by walking out your house and touching some grass. Nowadays, it's becoming less and less and less. And there's things that will always be like that, but it is there's a lot of things that are done through the internet. So yeah, I got my first phone in 7th grade, and I was genuinely surprised when my mom told me that like 4th graders are getting them. That's crazy. I actually got my first phone. When I was like when I was in like 1st or 2nd grade. I had a phone before all the other kids did. I had a good reason for it though, because I had to walk to school on my own like in 1st grade, which in retrospect I would never let my kids do that nowadays, but different times back then. But I had to walk like 2 to 3 blocks to school on my own in like first or second grade. So I have my own phone for emergencies, and I kind of just always had a phone. Like I've had a phone since for a long time. That's scary. Yeah, a little bit for sure. But I mean, that was a common thing back then, though. In the 2000s, like honestly, I still kind of see it today. Um, kids just walk. I don't know. Kids walk to school on their own. In certain areas, some people are comfortable with that. Kids walking to the bus stop on their own or going to school on their own. For me, I'm on the internet too much, and I see too much stuff. I hear too many horror stories, and like, I don't know if I'd be able to handle letting my kids do that. But I know there are some things I won't be able to control. I know there are some things I can't like baby my kid, because then they're gonna like be a shell of a human being. So like that's gonna be a tough thing as a parent, man. Figuring out when to take the wheels off for your kid. Some parents never do, and I have friends who had parents who were like that never let them do anything, super strict, super whatever, with that stuff. And that stuff, people don't realize that stuff actually shapes the heck out of the adult you become, out of the teenager you become. So like that adult becomes a lot more scared to do things. That mom that teaches that kid, that mom that like absolutely like I don't know, kind of like what word am I looking for? I don't know, kind of smothers that kid. You know what I mean? Like doesn't let them do anything. Doesn't let them go to school by themselves. Doesn't let them go to the store by themselves. Doesn't let them go to a party unless they know every single person who's there. Which that's a not bad traits by themselves. Can we get some music? All right, fine. We got some music. Fine. I'm sorry. All right. Let's do. Is this good? Is this good, chat? This music? All right, but yeah, that like that mother that absolutely smothers a child will has a good chance of creating an adult who like doesn't want to do basic things because they're scared of the world. You know what I mean? But different parenting styles. I'm not going to sit here and judge everyone's parenting styles, but I think there are certain. I think any extreme is bad. I'm kind of like that. I think any extreme of basically anything in life is kind of bad. Like too much like smothering of a kid and like kind of being too protective for too long, especially bad. Too much freedom is also bad. I've seen kids that have too much freedom and they're like smoking, drinking, doing all that stuff like at like 13 and 14, and it's like, all right, bro. Don't be that tapped out. Xeon wallpaper's gone. Oh, no. You think the Xeon wallpaper's gone? Hold up. Where's it at? I gotta find it. I like this wallpaper. I need to update my Valorant wallpapers. That's neon. There we go. There's the Xeon wallpaper. You gotta strike a balance of strictness and leniency. Yeah. By the way, at like 4, I think I am doing a fighting game tournament, which I might stream on here. Might be fun, right? Who decides to release KH4 trailer, Disney or Square Enix? Probably both. Square has to make the trailer and then Disney has to approve it, so probably both. F1 also provides a solid moral foundation for children. F what? F1? Uni 2? Yes, sir! I must be in the Uni 2 tournament in a little bit. Oh, fun fact. I don't know if I should be announcing this yet. Well, I don't know if anyone would care. If I get crap for it, I hope I don't. Look, if you're a fan of Under Night or fighting games, and you know about those like slam events, Sajam slams, grid break, yada yada, I'm in another slam event for Under Night that's coming very soon with a lot of big fighting game creators. It's gonna be really fun. I missed the article. Can I get a quick TLDR? Yeah, TLDR. Basically, Yoshi P did a little statement about how... Oh, crap. So Yoshi P said, I'm 53 now, and I've been playing Final Fantasy... I'm 53 now, and I've been playing since Final Fantasy 1 in real time. But for younger generations, people who grew up naturally accustomed to action-based combat and online competitive play, the recent entries in the series may have been hard to engage with. Part of that is simply because, I'm sorry to say, the release intervals for new titles have gotten longer. So some players haven't really had the chance to connect with the series the way older fans did. And Yoshi P is completely right. Completely right. I mean, when you have a gap that wide between releases, you're going to lose some fans. Like, the struggle is with that is you have to have the new game that people waited 7 years for be better than basically every game before it, because otherwise you're just going to be at a net loss in terms of fans and people who are getting into the franchise. If you have more people falling out of the franchise and getting into it, then yeah, it's rough, and that's something Kingdom Hearts is also dealing with. That's the silent effect, essentially, of droughts and long dev cycles. That is kind of rough, especially for longer running franchises like Final Fantasy, like Kingdom Hearts, that have multiple games and entries. Now, I think this affects Kingdom Hearts probably a lot more than it does Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is going to be around for years. Like, Final Fantasy is an IP that's so strong, I don't think it's dying, like, ever, basically. Like, I think Final Fantasy will outlive Kingdom Hearts, like, 20-fold, you know, because it's... Each game, each series is a new story. So... But for Kingdom Hearts, something that still has the ongoing story, that's a big issue. And... We have to see how good KH4 is, because like I said, you have to have your new game. When you're doing this, your new game has to be really good. It's kind of one of the reasons KH3 was so divisive. KH3 was mad divisive because people waited so long for it, and they're like, what? This is what I got? If KH3 released 3-4 years after KH2 and they had a game in between it, people wouldn't have been as argumentative about it. If it sucked, it would have been like, 3 wasn't as good as 1 or 2, but no, it is what it is. It's a solid game. But no, because you waited a decade plus for KH3, or however long people feel like they waited, it's not this game is just okay. This game is trash. I hate this game. Okay becomes garbage. Good becomes mid. Really good becomes mid. It's like, I don't know. It's the tragic effect of opinions and feelings compounding over that length of time. That's the TLDR. Was that a good TLDR? Chat, was that a WTLDR? KH4 needs to do some crazy things with this gameplay and the story. Yeah. You know, another thing about this is KH4, unfortunately, I don't like manifesting this, but it's kind of the truth now. KH4 is becoming as anticipated, as hyped as KH3, but in a very different way. 3 had actual hype and anticipation because of trailers, because of content released. KH4 has this anticipation, has this sort of pressure on it because of nothing, the lack of anything, and the amount of time we've went without anything has compounded into KH4 probably being the most hyped, maybe at worst the second most hyped Kingdom Hearts game of all time, because this drought is absolutely insane, and the drought is about to completely lapse the entire marketing cycle of KH3. We didn't know KH3 even existed until 2013, and then the game will release in 2019. We are only a year off of KH4 being... We're only a year off of KH4 having just as long of a marketing cycle as 3 did. And we don't have anything. So, sheesh. Thanks, much appreciated. No problem, Chaotic. Anytime. Alright. I hope they do something with Yazora's party in KH4 instead of having them just exist. I agree. I have a theory that Magi and Aegis will be our party members in KH4. I think that would be really hype. I say my theory. I don't think I came up with that. I'm pretty sure someone else did, and I was like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I like that idea a lot. And I don't know who it was though. It was probably some random chat person. But I agree with that theory. I'm carrying your theory on. That's the thought I have. Yo, we got 2 Oscars in the chat. Oh, what's good, other Oscar? We got Oscar, and then we got Oscar Nanko. I think that's what her name says. KH4 needs to set the stage for the Lost Masters arc and have consistent stakes throughout the whole gameplay, unlike how KH3 handled the stakes presented through its game. Yeah, I think KH3 was very reliant on the stakes from previous titles that were already set, so they didn't feel like they needed to reaffirm those stakes much throughout the story, and instead used the story to kind of connect the A and B of characters returning, like Aqua returning, Xion returning, Roxas returning, and having it make sense within the lore or feel like a more deserved moment, which I think they were successful at. I genuinely think they were. They could have focused a lot more on the war and the clash itself, though. But they did a lot in Dream About Distance's ending, so, you know, I don't know. I'm the real Oscar. Oh yeah, there's some old videos of me and Oscar, or Demon God Jr. from back in the day. Battle for the real Oscar in the chat. Honestly, I'd want to see a Cage Verum Rex type game where they actually set up Yuzora and everything that happened to him. Starts as the original adventure to Cage 1, but Cage aspects start leaking, if you know what I mean. I'm surprised I knew what that abbreviation was for without, like, seeing it ever. Ayo the Goat streaming. Ayo the Goat in the chat. What's good, Sora? So, chat, do you think Kingdom Hearts 4 will be better than Kingdom Hearts 3? Put your predictions in the chat. I know that's a loaded question. For some people, anything's better than KH3. I love KH3. That's peak Kingdom Hearts right there. But, I digress. It does kind of have to be, though. Not just for me. I'll eat up any cage slop, you know what I mean? But I say that. I said that and, like, immediately, like, recoiled. Like, you know, I don't I don't think I even think that. I love Kingdom Hearts, but I will call out a game that I think is genuinely mid. Like Recoded. Recoded is mid. Recoded is mid. The mobile games also a little bit above mid. I love the mobile games for their story, not for really anything else. Union Cross though is a decent mobile game. Dark Road, not. I don't think Dark Road's even a good mobile game. Missing Link could have been the best mobile game, but it didn't come out. So, yeah, no. All right, now here's the real prediction. Oh wait, hold up, chat. Hold up. Give me 1 second. All right, chat. My bad. I was. Well, I know y'all saw my thing going, but I don't think y'all heard any audio, right? Let me make sure. Y'all didn't hear any audio, right? I don't think anyone did. I'm pretty sure no one did. I have everything muted, but oh my gosh, I got like really congested all of a sudden. Anyways. I had to take a call from the missus, chat. The lady needed your boy on the phone. Also, Putty Apple says hi. All right. I'm trying to think of like my life choices right now. I kind of want to pivot to a fighting game stream already. I may just do it. I mean, y'all can still talk to me about Kingdom Hearts if you want to, but I think I must open up Under Night, play some Under Night. We're about to do a beginner Under Night tournament to end off the stream. A game I'm currently learning. I'm trying to be a lot better at. Y'all can still talk to me about Kingdom Hearts if you want. I'll answer Kingdom Hearts questions, but I'm probably gonna play some Uni. Look, I'm a dip then. Hey, all good. I appreciate you guys coming out, hanging with your boy, chilling with your boy, vibing with me. Adjust the setup a little bit. I need to make an official fighting game layout as I start slowly streaming a lot more fighting game stuff. Yo, what's good, Con Man? It's poppin'. I got some overlapping music going right now. That's crazy. This is about to be wild. How am I doing today? I'm doing good. Doing pretty good. I'm also just practice some Under Night because we're about to do a tournament in about 30 minutes. I want to do some quick rank practice. What game is this? Under Night in Birth, or the game we call Uni 2. Am I fighting another Mika? Might be kind of hype. Yo, we got another Mika player. Let's freaking go, dude. I gotta switch the everything, actually. Hold on. Switch the game I'm playing. I'm playing a Chaos. Okay. Hopefully I'm good at the game. I don't actually know how to fight Chaos. Why'd I do that? I'm just gonna veil off, bro. I like this Chaos color. Bro, just mashed! Fair enough. I'll mash back. Okay, he knows about the freaking 50-50, bro. Okay, got it. I get it. All right. Oh my god. See, the thing is, I don't actually know how to fight Chaos. I know he sucks, but I don't actually know how to fight him. What's with this rise of Chaos players on ranked? Bro, my chain shift. I'm getting perfected. Alright, I'm a fraud at this game too. Well, this guy's mad aggressive. Gotcha. Alright. I'm trash at everything, man. Come on. Why? Any characters you don't want to fight? I actually want to fight everyone in this game because I don't. My biggest issue in Under Night is easily matchups. I did that and went back in. Nah, this isn't TNS. I got cooked in TNS last week. What a combo. Yo, who is this Chaos? This person's not main Chaos. Nah, bro. Stop trying to shield me. Who do you think you is? There we go. Alright. I'm gonna drop the intro a lot later for some reason. This PC only? Nope. Does he kill me off of this? Oh, guys, that was the grab of my life. Oh my goodness. All right, watch this, watch this. Let's go. Why? Okay, so he just... I hate this guy. He solely walked forward and grabbed me. I hate this guy. Alright. I'll do some overhead shenanigans. I tech that. I wonder if I could have... Alright, bro. Grab me again. Hold on, man. I'm tilted now. Not actually tilted, but... He has better combos than I do. Dude! Okay. Respect, respect. I hate this. See, bro, who plays this character? I don't know what I'm blocking. What is this side swap mix? I don't know what he does. Nah, bro, he has my Mika image too. I should request a player match. I could have won. No, I couldn't have. I don't think I could have. He had way better combos. Try using final form here. All right. Look, Cage fans, we gotta look a little better than this, you know. Can't be talking like this. Yo, what's good, Mob? It's popping. Oh, we ran back into him. I'll get my butt whooped. You know, this is some good practice before the tourney. Is the game loud enough, by the way, chat? This game has some crazy music. What? Good corner swap. I don't care, bro. I thought I had chain shift for some reason. Oh, the grab mix is kind of crazy. No way he reaches that high! Why can everyone catch Mika in the air? I don't like this. I don't know how to fight this character, chat. I don't know what's happening. Get this pet off my screen. He like a warlock can summon pets. He just has a pet. He just has a pet. I forget what his pet's name is, but no, it starts with an A. Alright, I need to be aggressive. Don't be scared. I'm scared because I don't know. No fear. What? I know I blocked high there. Tragic. I'm mashing. He aerial assaulted me. Alright, I'm mashing again. I don't care. Alright, I'm gonna stop mashing now. Well, you dropped the combos, so. Fair enough. Fair enough. I need a block. No! That's hitting! That's crazy. What do I do during that setup? My inputs are like messed up. Dude, where's my DP? I'm gonna risk the DP here. No, why? What's happening to my inputs? I'm dead now. Yeah. That was some good. That was like... Dude. I'm like DPing. Look like such a scrub. I could have won that. I'm literally like pressing DP and this is not working. I hate PS5 controller so much. PS5 D-pad, man. I can't do it. GG's though. Are we gonna run into him again? We might. Might be the only one on rank right now. Good possibility. I'm so chopped at this game. Alright, this might be another Chaos player, because... Yes, it is. Bro, what's with these Chaoses on ranked? What's happening today? Alright. Let's be better. Be better, chat, no excuses. Gripping edge? Alright, that's how that 50-50 is supposed to work. Alright, DP round start. What the? That's a crazy round start. Alright, Mika doesn't win round start against this character, I don't think. I need to figure out a combo string for when I do that. I ain't gonna lie, chat, that was a pure master moment there. I was so scared. I was so scared. Oh my gosh. Dude, my buttons. Wow. The goofy Mika mix. This death? It might be. Yeah, it is. Alright. Let's go. We got the bombos, chat. Alright, got about like 15 more minutes before my bracket. Let's see how we do. I'm gonna have to check in the server. Let's see. Where's this tourney at in my folders? Oh, I don't think they have a check-in thing in here. Oh, Wagner, okay. Oh, rollback! I would have won that. My input not come out for my missile. Oh, I ain't losing this. Oh my gosh. Yo, this character. Yo, you missed the Kingdom Hearts part of the stream. I don't even know how to say her name. Here's 1K4. So do I. Good for us. Hey Google, stop timer. Bro said you could do it, buddy. Just get up close and punch. What the heck? I don't think this is killing. Yeah, I should save my chain shift. Should I have Veil off there? Maybe I should have. The guard slap. You're talking about the missile, like the missile I do in their face, like the cancel. It is pretty cool. Someone could easily just mash on me there, though, get a full combo, but that's if they're prepared for it. John woke. Oh, Kaguya. No, I lost my freaking Vorpal. Oh my gosh, triple overhead. Yo, what's good, perp? We're just grinding some Under Night. Roll back! Y'all saw that, right? Chat. Oh, brother. That's crazy. That actually was so bad to get rollback on that drop kick. I'm not rematching after this. I'm sorry. I can't. It's a Kuma, by the way. Hey. Bad for us. Yeah. I'm dead. I lost. Dog, that, like, I'm not rematching because that rollback was so tragic. I'm good. None against them as a player. I might have lost anyways. That rollback was like if that happened in a bracket, guys, I would have been so tilted. That actually killed my vibe. That massacred my vibe, matter of fact. Mika 66B is meaty as heck. And pull up bracket. You trying to counter on wake up? Come on, man, you got a block. I'm mad I dropped my input after 3C. Nope. Virtus turned it off. Dang. Hey, fair enough. Alright, probably have time to mix one more in there, I'm assuming. That's some good ping. They must be close. Oh, Yuzu. I'm scared. They roll back round start. Bro, how is it rollbacking with 20 ping? What the heck? What's happening? I don't know what I'm doing against Yuzu. I'm washed. I think I just have to DP forever in this matchup. was good. How? How did I get hit? What is? What? They immediately went from that to a low. Dog. So tragic. I'm gonna lose my S1. Have I ever played Astral Chain? Yes, I have. Played Astral Chain when it came out. Do I shield Yuzu's aerials? Fair enough. Huh? What has happened? Why they their thing crash? Okay. That's interesting. Need to make Astral Chain 2. Kind of surprised we haven't gotten one already. I'm being honest, like, kind of weird. All right, so I think this is a round robin style tournament. All right. All right, chat, tourney time. Oh, is that true? Director isn't with Platinum anymore? That's kind of crazy. Yikes. Let's go stream for this. Is this who I'm fighting? I don't know how to fight Carmine, so wish me luck. Well, I have like very little practice against Carmine. Crazy! creeping edging out of the corner. Oh, it's an overhead. Am I dead? Alright. That is not what I meant to press, chat. What a press! What a press on the drop kick! I'm dead. Oh man. Alright. Run it back. Run it back. Another 0-2 tourney. Nah. I can't think that. Could happen, but. That's an overhead. I remember that. All right. I'm just gonna do the simple combo. Nice. That 5A is crazy. Reacting that overhead is so hard. Yeah, can't backdash him. Come on, dude. Let's freaking go. Okay. I don't know what to do against Karma in the corner, man. That character chat is a menace. Whole menace. Our risky round star option I'm gonna choose. Worth it. the right button. Nice. Let's go! Let's go, chat! Ah! I already won. Woo! Alright, was that first to 2, right? Alright. I've never been in one of these before. Let's see. Do I report my matches, or are they reporting it? I think they're reporting it. Oh, I'm so happy, chat. I'm actually so happy that I won that. What's my next match? Or how does this work? Is that my first uni win in bracket in a while? No, it's not. I won. I did win one game last week at some point. What's the path? Or no, is this round robin? So there's no path. Okay. Oh, I guess I'm just waiting for my next match then. So what do I do right now? Question mark. This is what it looks like right now. The thing. Sorry for the silence, chat. We're locked in a little bit, alright? Yo, what's good, Sora? What's going on? What's going on? Alrighty. I want to mess around with those replays a little bit. Was it in the first match or second? It might have been second match. Yeah, no, I think it was first match. First match. I won first round in the first match, but then lost. It was here. Or anything I could have done there? I think I chain shifted way too late, so I don't think there's anything I could have done there. Maybe it was the first match. Nah, I just got cooked this round. Guess so. What's my next match though? Let's see, replay assist. Okay, so I could have done that, and I would have won the round. That's crazy. But if they literally just press a button there though, I lose, don't I? Oh no. Yeah, those aren't even like. Yeah, okay. Alright, well, that's interesting to know, that stuff has a little bit of a delay to it. Yeah, Days Anime would definitely go crazy. Alright. Well, chat, if I'm being honest, I'm not really talking too much during this. I mean, it'd be cool to have the VOD for this, but I don't know. I'm probably just going to end stream here. I probably will stream other uni tourneys in the future, but I'm going to just finish this on my own time. Thank you guys a lot for coming out to the stream, though. I really appreciate y'all. And y'all have a great rest of your day. I might be back tonight, might not. We'll see. Y'all take care, though.